So this piece of mahogany obsidian has all kinds of bands running through it. And if you swirl around in just the right direction, I think you'll see some gold sheen pop in there. Where did I see that? I thought it was right in there. There you go. So you would want to cut parallel to the bands to get those to show up. Here's another little piece, again layered mahogany. And it looks like there's a little bit of gold sheen down here. However, if you turn it over on this side, it just lights up. So you definitely would want to cut across the layers here and get that gold sheen to come out. Sometimes you never know which side to cut. Here's another one of those with multiple layers. It would be considered mahogany, but look at the way they light up when you get them in the light. Come on, where'd you go? I saw you a second ago. There's a little bit right there on the end. And when you turn it over, it's all over. So this would be considered gold sheen. There you go. It's winking at you down there. Another chunk of mahogany obsidian full of layers. I mean, just look at those. That in itself would be some beautiful cabochons. And I thought this had the potential of gold sheen, but not a lot is showing up on this side. However, this side, it's all over the place. Well, this started out as I was gonna just show a few pieces of obsidian, but I seem to be sorting through all my stuff. So here's another piece of double flow, and you can see there's some gold layers in there. And on this side, they just lit up. So this one will definitely need to be cut parallel to the layers. Okay, so this piece, it's showing some banding and stuff, and I might have picked it up because I thought it was gold sheen, but the more I look at it, I think this has the potential of being midnight lace. So I'll have to decide what I'm going for when I put this one in the saw. The only downside of midnight lace is it has to be backlit to actually see the patterns. And then I have another little piece of the, I wouldn't call it rainbow, it's more silver sheen than anything else. And this guy definitely has some gold sheen in it. Again, you see the layering. And look down there, that just came alive down there too. So lots of potential in this one little stone. Yeah, I don't know why I have so many buckets of obsidian, but I do. Here's a little piece that I thought might be gold sheen. It's hard to tell. Not really get anything standing out. But this side shows potential for something. I don't know if it's fire or just simply gold or silver sheen, but it's small enough I can put a dome on this and see before I start cutting slices off of it. Here's a piece of mahogany obsidian. It's got swirl patterns all over it. So I think I would cut some really interesting cabochons. I don't see any sheen, but that doesn't mean something won't show up as I cut through it. So this piece of mahogany doesn't appear to be super special, although it has some bands in it. They don't seem to be super prominent. So I did some cutting on it, and it's got some unusual patterns in there. So you never know what's inside these things. Looks pretty ugly on the outside, very interesting on the inside. So once again, we have lots of banding, potential gold sheen. But this one has something else that might be potentially unique, and that is, if I can get it to show just right, that has the potential, if you cut perpendicular to the bands, of being, come on, right in here, midnight lace obsidian. So I'll have to think about this one before I do some serious cutting on it, because I have a feeling it would be better to cut parallel to these bands and see what kind, especially with this flow pattern it's got to it. Could be some very interesting midnight lace. So here's a piece of obsidian. A lot of people would call it mahogany obsidian, and they would be right. But as you can see, it's got really nice tight bands in it. So would you just cut it perpendicular to the bands and have, you know, striped cabochons? I think, can't quite see it, but I think right in there is what would be gold sheen. So if you cut it parallel to the bands, you'd actually get some gold sheen obsidian out of this one. There, I got it wet. You can see the pattern in there. I suspect that this would be a piece of gold sheen if you cut it parallel. So you could cut this one a few different ways. Also, if you cut it parallel to the bands and then domed it, you would get targets or concentric circles as you went through the layers. Something to consider when you're prepping your stones to cut. So this piece of obsidian, as you can tell, has some really nice sheen to it. And I've actually already been doing some cutting on it. So you want to cut parallel to the layers, which I pretty much did. And just look at the pattern in that guy. I mean, incredible. So I will continue slabbing this up some more.